actually the dictionary here, it's already created for me. So what I can do is I can simply go and run this piece of code, and it's going to create me a dictionary, and that dictionary is formed of name with a list of values, score with a list of values, attempts with a list of values, and qualifying with a list of values. All the number of values that I have here, it's always the same. It is 3, 6, 9, 10 values. Therefore, I can use pd dot data frame to create a data frame from this dictionary. So a dictionary, it will work like this. This is going to become the column name, and this is going to become the values in every row for that column. And then score will be another column, and those will be the values of those columns, and so on and so forth. So if I do this, it is going to create the data frame for me. However, all my data here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have numbers. And in here, we have labels for the rows as well. So I can get these labels here and say, by the way, those are going to be my indexes for the rows. And if I create this way, it replaces the 0, 1, 2, 3 for those numbers. And if I now go df manual here, I've just created manual, and I say pd, I can go and say, as well as I normally do, df manual, create a manual this data frame. Very nice. Now let's see what we can do with this data frame here. If I go write a program to get the first 3 rows of a given data frame, sample Python dictionary and labels there. So I need to get the first 3 rows of this data frame. And how can I go and get it? I've already created the data frame. The data frame is called manual. And how do I get the first 3 rows? I can go and do like that, head 3, and that would do the job for me. However, in this exercise, just to make it different and to use the actual tools that we get in a dictionary, in a data frame, sorry, we can use the ilog. And with ilog, I can say the number of rows that I want. So and then comma and the columns. So if I want all columns, that will be like this. If I want all rows, that will be like that. But if I want the first to the third, I can say this is for rows, and it will give me the first 3 rows. Of course, I can avoid saying this, so that will give me the same result. So I don't need to put 0. And this is 0 to length of df manual. How many columns I have? Well, I have this many columns. This is all the columns that I have. There are 0, 1, 2, 3. So it should be like this. Actually, but this is the maximum. It is the same as this calculation I'm here. But I could say 3 if I wanted to. I could say 2. But if I want to avoid the last column, I normally say -1, and I don't even need to know how many there are. If I leave it empty, that is up to the maximum. If I leave it empty here, this is beginning at 0. And this is the way we should go and get all columns, the first rows of a given dictionary, a given data frame, selecting with the ilog. Because I am using the the actual numbers, maybe I can avoid putting the word log here, and maybe it gives me the result. But when it feels a little bit confused, it mandatorily generates an error. Then I have to say either log for names for the indexes and I, log for the numbers. And this is how we get. Very good. Let's carry on and let's write a program now to select the name and the score columns from that data that we have there. The data